Cloudy skies with a high of 57 degrees. Southwest winds at 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 20. Monday night we'll see isolated rain showers with mostly cloudy skies and a low at 44. Tuesday, isolated rain showers throughout the day and thunderstorm chances begin in the evening with cloudy skies and a high of 55 degrees. Wednesday, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 57. And going into Thursday, isolated rain showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny with a high of 62 degrees. Friday, to Edwards at the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently,
now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And we are coming to you from our Saginaw Spirit home studio. Nice to be with you on this, a Monday already? And we're in May 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun, as they say. And we are always having fun. Nice to be with you. Later on, we're going to talk to Craig Goslin from the Saginaw Spirit after the 10 o'clock news for a little bit, just to bring you up to date on the priority selection and what next year's Saginaw Spirit team looks like. And we'll have open phones that hour, too. We'll have open phones later this hour. At 11 o'clock, Trish Burns, who is head of the Bay County Library System, will be joining us on Focus. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to talk about an upcoming event that is called Hats Off to Mom. And it's part of a scholarship program put on by the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and the local chapter of that sorority, Eta Upsilon Omega chapter. We have its president with us this morning, and we say good morning to Kimberly Horne. Kimberly, good morning.
Good morning. It's so good to be with you today.
Oh, we're glad to have you with us. Before we get into the Hats Off to Mom scholarship program, maybe a little overview of the sorority itself. Tell us about the local chapter and the national sorority.
Certainly. We are a community service organization, and nationally or internationally, I should say, we were founded in 1908 with the sole purpose to help all mankind. And so locally within Saginaw, we were chartered in February of 1962. So we've been in existence for 60 years. And over that time, we've been very impactful, giving over $200,000 in scholarships and community service programs.
And normally when we think of a sorority or a fraternity, we think of colleges. But you're not associated, are you? It's just a service organization. Is that right?
We are both, actually. We were founded at level in 1908. By Howard University, a historically Black college in Washington, D.C. And so since that time, we've grown to over 300,000 members worldwide. And so we do operate on both the undergraduate level as well as the postgraduate level.
Ah, very, very good. So let's talk a little bit about the Hats Off to Mom fundraiser. I have to ask right up front, I noticed that it's virtual this year when a lot of people are getting together and doing meetings. Was there discussion of doing this live format rather than virtual this year?
Actually, we went back and forth on that, and we're under the direction of our international organization. And so we are, in fact, able to have live events in person, but we do have some stipulations and guidelines that we felt would kind of limit our mobility and the capacity that was allowed under our national guidelines. And so that's the reason we decided to go virtual this year. We wish we could be in person, but because of those reasons, that led us to this decision.
So tell us about the event.
This is our 38th year of Hats Off to Mom, and the sole purpose for deserving local students that is the driver behind it. And as I said earlier, over the past 60 years, we've given out $200,000 or more in scholarships and community service programs. In addition, we will salute a Mother of the Year, and that is First Lady Shirley Camel, who is the First Lady of the New Birth Baptist Cathedral. And then we also salute a Soror of the Year, who was voted on by the chapter, and that's Mrs. Angelique Miller-Burrell. And both of them are trailblazers within their own rights. The other thing that we have, it is Mother's Day weekend, and so there will be a hat show, if you will, to feature various hats, some vendors. And so it's just a fun time. But the main driver, as I mentioned, is to give those scholarships to help students further their education.
So normally events like this, Kimberly, are fundraisers. And if you do it live, of course, you can charge admission. How do you fundraise in a virtual environment these days?
I'm glad you asked. For just a mere $60, even though this is virtual, the whole thrust is to raise those funds to get scholarships. So for just a small amount of $60, you can help a young person further their education at the collegiate level. And we know that the cost skyrocketed over the years. $60 barely pays for one book, if that. And so even though it is virtual, we're impressing upon people, please make an investment in young people to help them in their future.
So when is the virtual program? When will it run?
It will air live. Well, not live. Some of it's recorded, but we'll be there live, and some pieces will be live. But it will air on May 7th at 11 o'clock a.m. And if you would like tickets, it's not too late to purchase tickets. You could go to our website at upsilonomega.com or scan the QR code, and there's also a link with our flyer to purchase those tickets and register. It's not too late.
All right, let me spell it out for those that don't speak Greek too. Eta, ETA, Upsilon, UPSILON, Omega, OMEGA. Eta,
Perfect.
Upsilon, Omega chapter. And it's Epsilon Omega. It's Epsilon, Eta, Epsilon Omega.com. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right, and more information there. Will they be able to see all the information, event and everything?
They certainly will. If you go to our website, click on events, you'll see the flyer. Our keynote speaker is our Great Lakes Regional Director, Mrs. Carrie J. Clark. Very good speaker, very good leader. And if they visit our webpage as well as our Facebook page, all the information can be found there on how to register and to see all of the events that we have.
In a normal year, how many scholarships do you award?
This year, we're looking to do 18. Last year, we did 18 as well. So it kind of varies, but over the last couple of years, we do have a goal to stretch a little bit further with the giving in terms of the amount because of, the cost of college being so expensive, but usually about 18.
How do you choose the recipients?
We have a scholarship committee. We have a rubric with the students earn points for various components. They write an essay. Of course, we look at GPA and their transcripts. They have to have letters of recommendations from either a counselor or a teacher or their employer. And so they get various points for community service. Applications are sent to all the high schools throughout the Tri-City area, and those were sent out in the February-ish timeframe. And so our committee evaluates the students who apply. They fill out an application, of course, and so they're graded or scored based on those various components. And if I'm not mistaken, there's like 10 to 12 components that they're scored on, and then those that get the most points out of 100, we rank those, and then we award accordingly.
So I have to ask, you're a Saginaw resident, is that right?
I do live in the county of Saginaw.
County
I'm
of
originally
Saginaw.
from Muskegon, Michigan. That's where I was
are you really?
born and raised, but I live in the county of Saginaw.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I was going to ask about the city schools uniting and coming up with Saginaw United High School, how that'll impact you, but actually it'll make it easier for you, won't it? Everything will be in one place.
I think it makes it easier. Like you said, everyone will be in one place. So But, this scholarship is open to all schools in the area. So, we don't limit anyone.
Very good. Well, Kimberly, I wish you well with the event. Hats off to Mom, a virtual event, 11 o'clock this Saturday morning, the 7th. Is that Saturday? Yeah.
That
right.
is Saturday.
It is Saturday, right?
Yes, at
I'm
11
losing
a.m.
track of time.
Yes, it is at 11 a.m. Yes.
And you can find out more at their website, which is adaupsilonomega.com. Kimberly, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning, and good luck with the event.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. Bye-bye now. Kimberly,
have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now. Kimberly Horne, she's the president of the local chapter, and we thank her for joining us. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. We're going to start out by talking about the Department of Homeland Security Truth Squad. Yeah. All right. All of that coming up here on the Art Lewis Show. Our number is 752-6111, 989-752-6111.
This is Dr. Dennis LaFoon, pastor of Bethel AME Church, and I'm also a member of Saginaw African American Pastors, and we're urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID vaccination shot. The health of our community determines the life of our community, so do your part and take the shot that saves lives. Join us in making Saginaw a community with immunity. For COVID vaccine and testing location information, visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org today.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Hand me that nail gun.
Here you go. And here's the fries.
Lunch. Who's hungry?
You know, maybe instead of loading up a nail gun with French fries to feed the crew, we should just order lunch through Easy Cater. Food from all our favorite restaurants.
My bad.
On time and as ordered.
Delicious. Huh. Load up the hot dogs while I think about it.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Some optimism appears to have returned to Wall Street after the worst week for the major averages since the start of the pandemic. The Fed meets tomorrow and Wednesday and is expected to raise interest rates 0.5 percentage point. Wall Street ratings firm Moody's reported a weaker quarter. Its operating expenses increased. Apple is defending itself after the European Union's antitrust regulators charged the company with restricting rivals to its payment chip technology. Apple says Apple Pay is only one of many options available for making payments. Domino's wants you to pick up your own pizza. The chain, known for delivering in 30 minutes or less, says it will give you a $3 tip when you go to a Domino's. Carryout sales were up more than 11% in the recent quarter. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
Annette Glenn pledged she'd fight to cut car insurance costs. She pushed legislation giving drivers more choice, reducing premiums, coming a $400 refund check per vehicle. Annette Glenn got the job done. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52,
36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
It is Juan moving in right wing, pass across, and score!
I'm Joey Batano, voice of Spirit Hockey on WSGW. On behalf of the Saginaw Spirit, we want to thank our business partners, billet families, season ticket holders, and all fans for supporting Spirit Hockey this season. From the players to the president and managing partner, the entire Spirit organization wishes you a safe summer, and we look forward to seeing you again in the fall. Remember, during the off-season, you can stay up to date online by visiting SaginawSpirit.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, Joe Biden unleashes energy independence. I'm guessing it goes with an attack on the English language.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. I have to start out with this. In this open phone segment. It was announced by the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas that there's going to be a commission, a committee of public information. It's going to be known as the Disinformation Governance Board to combat what he calls misinformation. Let me please refer to the First Amendment, which says, and I will read this, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of a religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, that's of course your freedom of religion, or of abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Department of Homeland Security is funded by Congress. And as such, by creating a disinformation board, in effect, is putting the government in a position of abridging free speech. I hope that if this comes to reality, and apparently it has because they've named a leader, can't wait to tell you about that. I hope somebody takes this to the Supreme Court immediately. What is scarier than the government telling you what you can say and what you can't say? Who's to decide misinformation? Well, I can tell you who it is. It's somebody by the name of Nina Jankowicz. And if you don't recognize that name, Miss Jankowicz, back in her day, said that the Steele dossier was deadly accurate. And there was nothing to the Hunter Biden story of being a computer someplace. Here we are today, knowing, of course, that the Steele dossier was phony and that there was a Hunter Biden laptop, which is now being investigated by the government. So who would have shut down her disinformation campaign? Now she is leading the disinformation board to determine what's factual and what's not. Founding fathers right now are rolling over in their graves. That is not what they had in mind. They did not want the government to be the arbiter of free speech. This is going to be interesting to watch. And the media ought to be as concerned as anyone about it. Whether you agree with the media, you disagree, whether you like CNN or you like Fox for one reason or another, or you think they're all biased one way or another, it doesn't matter. Founding fathers protected free speech and a free press. They did not intend the government to set up a board to determine what truth is. And it's already been nicknamed the Biden Truth Squad. It'll be interesting. Russ is in Bay City to start us out. Russ, good morning.
I am so glad you led with this. I mean, this is infuriating, and it's incredible how close authors like Orwell, Bradbury, Huxley, I mean, they nailed it.
1984.
Orwell called this the Ministry of Truth, which the lies came out of. And it's going to give us an opportunity to see one thing. We're going to see who America's true journalists are, who wholly owned, operated, and dominated propagandists for the Democratic Party are.
No, it's not going to happen that way, and I'll tell you why. All of the media will and should be against this because to limit one is to limit themselves.
And they won't be.
Well, you watch. I don't agree. I don't agree.
We will see. I tell you what. How about we put $1 bet on it? Because I'm not seeing it. The only journalists I'm seeing opposed to this are journalists labeled extreme right wingist.
No, I don't think you're right. But time will tell.
I'm wrong.
Time will tell.
I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be.
Well,
you didn't see anybody at this liberal love fest in Washington the other night mentioning it, did you?
Why was it a liberal love fest? Because remember, it happens under every president. You're talking about the correspondence dinner. So it's a liberal love fest when the liberals are in power, and it's a conservative love fest when the conservatives are in power.
Oh, no, it is not.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. Watch it.
Russ.
When you watch that, the jokes that come from those people, when they joke about a Democrat, you can tell it comes from complete love and adoration. And when the jokes are aimed at a Republican, it comes from pure unadulterated hate.
All right. Well, all right. Sorry you look at it that way.
My opinion on it. But I hope you're wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. I hope we do see the America's journalists scream about this, but I just don't see it happening.
I hope it gets to court quickly.
No doubt. It looks, but we'll see.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
Good enough, Russ.
I'm not too confident.
All right. Well, time will tell. Yep. You too. Bye-bye now. All right. That opens the lines, 989-752-6111. And we will be back with more.
Consider a move to Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw.
There's a huge amount of trust that's built in that process of deciding where you're going to move, when you're going to sell your house. It's important when you walk into a place that you look around. Do the residents look happy? Are the staff interacting with them? How were you treated when you walk through the door? This is the next step to your journey. I want to give the right recommendation. I want to lead these people in the right direction. They've trusted me.
Schedule a tour today at wellspringlutheran.com.
Don't just like to lawn, love to lawn with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. Head to Wildfire's Ace Hardware, your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer today, and see how the fastest growing lawn tractor is setting the standard for performance and comfort. Cub Cadet is delivering more strength, more versatility, and more durability in one lineup that now features bold new redesigns of the fully electric XT1. XT2. The XT Enduro Series also offers extra tough fabricated and stamped decks, breakthrough cutting and bagging performance, incredibly responsive handling, and an ergonomically designed operator station with an adjustable seat for incredible comfort, all backed by strong warranties and the genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians only Woolfiles can provide. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Woolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. You can schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. You can also call our customer service team to ask for information and get the help you need. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of the John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor to make
the earth take the shape that I wanted to take.
And the Allens fire up their John Deere 3032E compact tractor to grow about 9 acres of flowers. Because the beauty of having land is deciding how to make it yours. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Kids are amazing and expensive, but with Fabric, protecting your family with term life insurance is surprisingly affordable with a personalized policy for your family starting at less than $1 a day. It's quick, easy, all online, and you could be approved instantly. Plus, no risk, cancel anytime. Secure your family's financial future today at meetfabric.com/future. That's MEET fabric.com/future. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life, not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back on the Art Lewis Show. And back to our phones this morning. Jeff is in Hemlock. Jeff, good morning.
Hi, Art.
Hi there.
Hey, this is, I think, related and maybe slightly off topic.
Sorry.
But I have a little pet peeve with the news. When I watch, whether it's CNN or Fox, I realize that the people on there are giving a lot of times their opinion and the news is slanted or whatever. But when I hear the news on the radio, many times, and I'll give an example. The other day there was a news release where someone in the Trump campaign or circle, there was leaked something he had said at one time or another, and so they reported that, and then they go to where they'll say, now what that really means is, or what this, and it's almost an exact quote, the person, and then they said, and what that really means is, and then they gave someone who gave their opinion. And then, so it's like, well, I'm listening to the news. I'm not listening to what someone's opinion about the news is.
Yeah, and I'm assuming,
So often.
I'm assuming you're talking about the national news. That would be the
Right,
like
but in its
CBS
right
or
now,
whoever.
I'm listening to SGW.
Right, but
Yeah,
that,
and it's always, and they'll have something like a statistic about the climate as an example.
yeah, it's national
And then
news.
they'll
Yeah,
have to think about that.
yeah. Well, remember this now.
hear the news.
Remember this though. It's the same organization that does the television news. So if you're having a problem with the television news, you can expect you're going to have a problem with the radio news because it's the same people.
Right, yeah, I understand, but again, I just sort of would have hoped, and again, I realize that's not going to happen, that the news on the radio, and it's done, at least in the past, there was one, the FM or something is Fox, and the AM is CBS
Right.
or something like that, and obviously they have different viewpoints. But it would be just nicer if they just reported the news and then didn't have, because you can always, they'll have something where, I don't mind, like let's say there's a tornado, and they interview someone who was involved in the tornado and said, oh, it sounded like a train coming through and the roof went
Right.
off or whatever. That adds to the news. But when someone comes on and only gives one side and says, well, this is what you should really think about that.
Yeah.
That's, to me,
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way. I'm not disagreeing with you, just so you understand that. But it's unfortunate that the news business, and I'm talking about the national scene now, not the local news, but the national scene has gotten to a point where you don't know what to believe anymore, and the things come out slanted. The who, what, where, why, when, how, the basics of news seems to have been forgotten at some point in time. And all of a sudden, opinion begins to slide in. That's unfortunate. And I think that part of it has to do with social media, unfortunately, and the world we live in today and the way information is disseminated. Having said all of that, the last thing I want is a government disinformation board telling me what's true and not true from people who don't seem to know that themselves. And that worries me.
If it got, obviously it's not going to get this intrusive, but something, we're having a conversation here, and if someone, obviously in a higher level conversation, but disagreed with my point and agreed with your point, or vice versa, it could be labeled as disinformation, and that just seems
absolutely.
like it just stifles.
And this is going to be run.
I agree. That's a scary proposition to have someone in the government.
And here, the guy that sets this up, Alejandros Mayorkas, is the guy that denies there's a border crisis. Well, I would call that misinformation.
Right.
Maybe this board should censor him. I don't know. It just seems to me that it's ludicrous. All right, Jeff, I appreciate the call. Appreciate your viewpoints. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
And Mark is in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
How are you, sir?
We're fine. Thank you.
Hey, on the disinformation, on the border, Mayorkas announced a couple months ago that there was horse whipping.
Yeah.
Border said that we will not take horses and use them as weaponized horses to whipping children. One in the video, in the still photo, it was grown men. And then the person that snapped the photo said that they didn't see anybody whipping horses or whipping individuals or anything. So is that example right there? Why should this individual be in charge?
Well, he
shouldn't. Information.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be.
Well, no, I agree.
But he is. That's the ludicrous part of this.
Yeah, I agree. And then my second solution for the border crisis on the border is I'm driving around and I see farmers using electrified fences to keep in horses and cattle and so forth. And then in Kentucky, they used electrified water to stop the spread of Asian carp coming up to the Great Lakes. So why can't we electrify the Rio Grande, put a bunch of signage up?
Yeah, it's too big. And it's
water, but not make it so it kills it. What's that?
Yeah, it's first of all, to do it would be impractical. And you got a river that's hundreds and hundreds of miles long. You're not talking about 50 feet. I mean, you're talking about a huge, huge body of water that's very lengthy. It's just not, the practicality isn't there.
Well, if you could do that, you would have it on 24/7. You wouldn't have a National Guardman trying to save somebody that's a drug smuggler. You would keep people out of the water, and the ones that dip their toes in would realize that we can't cross.
Yeah.
To remain in Mexico would be in effect, wouldn't it not?
Or somebody would be selling them. Somebody would be selling them Gumpy suits, which are impervious to it. One way or another, they're going to figure it out. They'll take boats. They'll do what they have to. I understand what you're saying. We need to tighten up the border. It needs to be closed because you don't have a country if you don't have a border. So, all right, got to run, Mark. Take care, buddy. Take care. And we'll be back. Scott, hang on. You'll be next when we return on the Art Lewis Show.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
Cercospora is tough and tenacious. So are sugar beet farmers. Provosol fungicide can stop Cercospora leaf spot and help your business grow. It brings brand new chemistry that's engineered to exceed the performance of current fungicides on the market. With faster activity and a longer residual disease control for your sugar beet plants, Provosol is the proactive fungicide that won't quit when things get tough. In other words, it's just like you. Talk with your BASF rep about Provosol fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
Hey, is this line secure?
Franco's cybersecurity firm secured a contract, and that's all we're allowed to say.
We have a green light on hiring.
He needs web security professionals with a military background.
3 teams of 4, 24-hour rotations, but Protocol Zulu is on a need-to-know basis.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard, so you can all the way to the hire. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search. people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll, Elon Musk buying Twitter. It was a reported deal worth about $44 billion. That Twitter will become private, by the way, under the new ownership of Elon Musk. Each absolutist. He's expressed concerns that Twitter has strayed from its free speech roots. He actually sent a tweet saying, I hope that even my worst critics will remain on Twitter because this is what free speech is all about. Some supporters are ready to welcome changes. Some are saying that he might relax some limitations and thereby causing an infestation of spams and scams and could render the platform maybe impossible to use. What do you think you might do now that Elon Musk has purchased Twitter? Will you keep using it, figuring there's not going to be much differences? You're going to stay right now, but prepare to leave if Elon Musk does make some major changes. Are you going to leave right now? Or you don't use Twitter in the first place, so it really doesn't matter to you. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the online poll box.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Back to the phones. We go out to Mount Pleasant. We find Scott waiting for us. Good morning, Scott.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, been several years since I called your show, but I just couldn't resist this time with the this Office of Disinformation. I don't know. It's a sad time we're living in when we have Mary Poppins telling us what not say. This is ridiculous. If the Republicans get back in Congress, they should dissolve this and kick this woman out of office.
Well, I'm sure they will, but I would rather see it go to court so it's put to bed permanently.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather have the Supreme Court tell them you can't do that, government.
You know, I'm going to be 67 years old this year, and I have seen presidents come and go, and I have never seen a guy like this that's in office right now. I mean, everything that man touches turns to trash. I cannot see. I cannot name one. I don't think he's up to the job anyway. And I really wonder if he's calling the shots or if his handlers are doing it for him.
Well, but I know that question is out there. But I hate to remind people the same question was asked of Ronald Reagan, particularly in the second term.
Right.
So, it's listen, history will write the epitaph one way or another, good or bad. In the meantime, we have to live with it. In my opinion, the best thing that can happen is Congress changes hands in the midterm election.
Right.
And that literally puts an end to the agenda put forth by this administration, because it can't be funded. Congress won't fund it.
Right.
It doesn't end presidential executive orders, but there's a limit as to what those can do. So I have my fingers crossed that Congress changes hands.
And I hope you're right. It sounds like it's going to be, unless they find another way to skew the election somehow. I don't know. What gets me is that people they keep complaining about big money being in politics, and yet guys like Zuckerberg puts in almost $500 million to the Democrats, and you don't hear him complain about that. Mm-hmm. It's just when, somebody like the Koch brothers or somebody like that puts money into the Republican side.
Yeah, it's a one-way street.
Yeah, sure is. So
that's why this information board put forth by one political party is so worrisome, because it's an attempt to stifle the opponent.
Just the name Ministry of Truth, doesn't that sound a little like?
Well, that's a made up name.
Right.
The ministry. That's the name it's been a dubbed, but its technical name is Disinformation Governance Board is its official name.
Right.
We've called it other things. I mean, we've called it Biden's Truth Ministry and the Ministry of Truth and all of that stuff. But It's a disinformation governance board. Well, who are they to govern disinformation? And then they put somebody in charge who, in her own way, has done nothing but spewed disinformation for years. It just
exactly.
it's just unbelievable.
And I just wish, like you say, I hope it does take it to court.
And I will say this, because it needs to be said. If the Republicans had done this, I would have exactly the same reaction. Period.
Oh, sure.
In other words, I don't want government being the determinant of what truth is, when most of the time government doesn't recognize it itself. So,
Correct.
yeah, well, time will tell.
Have you seen the video of her singing the song from the Mary Poppins movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness!
I'll have to look for it.
If she knew how foolish she looked.
I'll have to look for it.
You'll have to look for it. It's she did it on TikTok, but I'm sure it's on other
probably is
media.
I'll have to look.
It's okay. Well,
all right, Scott.
Things are changing.
Yeah, well, keep your fingers crossed, and I appreciate the call this morning. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Ah, yes, the times we live in, Interesting times, to say the least. We'll be back to close out this hour.
This is Larry Rodarte, host of Mi Gente on Air, inviting WSGW listeners to come out and view the Cinco de Mayo parade on Saturday, May 7th. Get your spot early on South Washington Avenue between Hoyt Park and Genesee. The parade starts at 10:30 a.m. Then join us for great Mexican food, fun, and music at Jolt Credit Union Event Park. Listen to the Tejano sounds of Latin Grammy Award-winning artist Michael Salgado. Celebrate the return of Saginaw's Cinco de Mayo. Join us.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Daylight Outfitters. You are going to get 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4, or 1 hour of video archery for a group of 4 for only $40. It's usually $80, but you are getting it half off. Daylight Outfitters is located at 664 West Isabella Road in Midland. Axe throwing participants must be 10 Plus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I tend to second guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma, smart communications for the smarter business.
Are you a do-it-yourselfer or a direct-it-yourselfer?
Every weekend, people tell us about overspending on projects they could have handled themselves for lots less money.
And we hear from people who ended up overspending because they tried to do something they should have called in a pro to tackle.
Well, we'll help you sort it out. I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Got a remodeling or a repair project?
We can help you decide whether to do it yourself or weekend on the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
Saturday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Next hour, we're going to talk to Craig Goslin up front, the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. Get an update on the great weekend they had selecting new players, because the draft was this weekend. And boy, did they do well. We'll talk about that with Craig and then have more open phones all ahead after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Delays are reported in Ukraine's port city of Mariupol, where hundreds more civilians are hoping to be evacuated from a steel plant today. Officials say buses scheduled to take them to safety haven't gotten there yet. About 100 others did leave yesterday, this woman among them.
When the shells started landing here, I thought my heart was going to stop and I wouldn't survive.
Many have already arrived in Ukrainian-held territory where relief workers await them. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata is following the fight from eastern Ukraine.
In another indication, the war is extending lines to Russian soil. Explosions were reported in the Russian border town of Belgorod, where social media video captured a military installation on fire.
A prisoner who confessed to murder and a prison official are both missing from a correctional facility in Lauderdale County, Alabama. They left Friday, a day after the officer handed in her retirement papers. Sheriff Rick Singleton.
At this point, we're pretty much convinced that she assisted the inmate escape.
Prison officials say the officer violated department policy when she left the detention center alone with the inmate, claiming she was taking him for a mental health evaluation at the nearby courthouse. They never arrived. Damage assessment and cleanup are underway in the Midwest.
The tornado that damaged more than 1,000 buildings near Wichita, Kansas Friday generated winds up to 165 miles per hour and carved a path of destruction 13 miles long. Allie Valentine broke.
We loved this home. We loved it. It was great. Puts everything into perspective because now it's all gone.
The National Weather Service says the tornado that injured several people was on the ground for more than 20 minutes. More severe weather is expected today across the southern plains. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Grindr users apparently gave away more than they signed up for. The Wall Street Journal says the gay dating app gathered information on the movements of millions of users, including intimate details, and offered them up for sale. In one case last year, a U.S. Catholic official was reportedly outed. Grindr has issued a statement insisting it values users' privacy and has installed new privacy practices 2 years ago. A day after Naomi Judd died, her daughters were there to honor her at the Country Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Her youngest, Ashley.
My mama loved you so much, and she appreciated your love for her. And I'm sorry that she couldn't hang on until today.
Winona and her mom were inducted for their work together as the 76. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. It's that time of year for y'all grizzly bears to come out of hibernating and get some good grub in those bellies. Well, lucky for you, we've spiced up the menu a bit with a couple of new items. From dangerously tasty spin dip to fries piled high with homemade chili and cheese. You might say we've taken comfort food to the next level. Again, now get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch. Exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results. 2. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Hello there, Mr. Goslin.
Hey, good morning, Art.
Hey, good morning. We're all set.
All right.
Be with you in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Art.
Hang in there.
This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 49 degrees at Channel 5. Good morning, I'm Mike Krochak. Saginaw County Central Dispatch reported a shooting in the city of Saginaw yesterday. Police responded to the area of Weber and Julius Streets around 6 p.m. Currently, there is no word on any victims or potential suspects. The investigation is ongoing. The Bay City School Board meets tonight with transportation on the agenda. Superintendent Stephen Bigelow will give a presentation on the results of a transportation request for proposal to privatize the school bus system in the district. The idea has created controversy as many current union-represented bus drivers and others in the transportation department of the district oppose the move. They say contracting out bus drivers could result in lost jobs and decades of experience. The district has a budget of about $3 million for the upcoming school year for transportation. School officials say hiring a third party for those services could save the district money. Tonight's meeting starts at 7 p.m. and will take place at the Handy Middle School Auditorium at 601 Blend Street in Bay City. A vote on the proposal will take place at the next meeting on May 9th. Department of Transportation will complete remaining bridge maintenance on northbound I-675 in Saginaw County starting Thursday. Northbound I-675 will be closed from M58 to Tittabawassee Road with traffic detoured via southbound 675 and northbound I-75. The work is weather dependent and may take up to 4 weeks. All detours will be removed during the Memorial Day holiday weekend. The work is part of a $10.5 million investment to improve more than 8 miles of 675 with concrete pavement repairs and work to address maintenance needs on 36 bridges and culvert structures. This work started in April, expected to be complete in July. Crews expect to start around the second segment of northbound 675 from the South Junction to Michigan Avenue by early June. WSGW News Time 10:07.
When you think spring, you think spring cleaning, spring fever, and spring projects. Let Kapoko Community Credit Union make the spring projects part easy with a Visa home equity line of credit secured by the credit in your home. With low draw period payments, 15 years to repay, and possible tax savings, this will make that new landscaping or home remodel way less stressful. So you can focus on giving your home the TLC it needs. So when you Kapoko Community Credit Union. Find out more at kapoko.org, member NCUA.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Central defending its decision to eliminate the men's track team, saying it was a financial move and not a discriminatory step. The U.S. Department of Education informed CMU this week it had received a complaint. The government says it will remain neutral while collecting and analyzing evidence. CMU said in 2020 it was dropping the track team, which subsequently added a men's golf team. The 2019-2020 track team had 30 athletes, including 6 who were Black or identified as multiracial. President Bob Davies says there's no evidence to support claims of racial bias. CMU is struggling to attract students. Enrollment was down 45% last fall compared to 2010. This is Michigan Honors Small Business Week. Business reporter Murray Feldman reports one of the award winners is from Ann Arbor.
One of the top 50 Michigan businesses to watch is Amy Sell LLC, the president and chief matchmaker Cell.
I love being the chief matchmaker of Amy Cell Talent. It's such an honor to be able to connect amazing people in Michigan with great opportunities to help small businesses grow.
Amy says the talent business in Michigan has never been more challenging. She thinks there will now be a lot of settling out in the employment business. So what's your best move?
I think being focused and thinking long term in terms of where people see their career, how they want to move, and seeking out opportunities that will develop those skills both short term and long term.
Amy Cell, what are the top 50 Michigan companies to watch? Murray Feldman, Michigan News Network.
WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see cloudy skies here for today with a high into the upper 50s. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low near 44. By Tuesday, storms, cloudy skies, a high 55 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high around 58. Thursday, partial sunshine develops, high around 63. Then by Friday, another chance for rain showers, partial sunshine, and a high around 60. Saturday, mostly sunny sky conditions, a high around 61 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 49.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us from my Saginaw Spirit home studio on this Monday morning. Speaking of my Saginaw Spirit home studio, we're going to talk about that very organization for a little bit this morning because with us is the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit, Craig Goslin. Good morning, Goose.
Good morning, Art. We got a permanent smile on our face here this morning, the entire franchise. So it's exciting times. Exciting times.
We're going to talk about that because I mean it's we need to start with just an overview that the priority selection draft on the Ontario Hockey League is an annual event, and this year, finishing near the bottom of the league wasn't a bad thing for us, was it?
No, there's an exceptional player in this year's draft, and to kind of explain to your listeners the dynamics of the exceptional player is that in 2005, Hockey Canada adopted a rule to allow what we call underage players that are 15-year-old players to apply for exceptional player status into the OHL priority selection draft. So with that, Hockey Canada's exceptional player status, what is it? The players that our scouting staff drafted last weekend primarily are 16-year-olds, right? And every once in a while, 17-year-old gets in there. But every once in a great while, an exceptional player that's 15 years old is granted permission to play in our league by Hockey Canada. So to give you a dynamic of just how exceptional and how terrific this young man is that we drafted, in 17 seasons since the inception of, in 2005, of the exceptional player status rule, there's been 5,100 players that have been drafted into the Ontario Hockey League. Only 5 of those players prior to this year were granted exceptional player status, and now 6. And that 6th player is Michael Misa with the Saginaw Spirit. It's kind of like when Michigan State got Magic Johnson, what that did to Michigan State's basketball program, right? It's been on the top ever since. And, I'm not saying Michael Misa is that. Certainly he is a 15-year-old young man, but he's an incredible talent. Off the charts, incredible talent. Our fans are going to have a blast watching him develop.
Explain to everybody how Saginaw got the first pick and was able to select Misa. And folks, so that we fully reveal, Craig also happens to be the chairman of the Board of Governors in the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad that the lottery was on video, and it was done by our lawyer and lawyer agency. But yeah, what we did is the 4 teams that did not make the playoffs, which were Saginaw, Niagara, Erie, and Sudbury. All four of us were put into a computerized lottery system. And with that, the Saginaw Spirit, with a 25% chance to get Michael Misa, we had our lucky charm with us that day, Art, and we were able to get the number 1 overall selection. So that's how it happened.
And when that selection became yours, was there ever any discussion that it wasn't going to be Michael Misa?
No. Yeah, no. There's a young man named Malcolm Spence that's in the draft too. That he would have gone first overall. And what a nice young man he is. He came up and visited Saginaw with his family. Saginaw's become a destination, Art, for major junior development. When you look through our group of players that have gone into the NHL, Dave Gagne and Ken Hornick from Wasserman, who's the agency, by the way, for Michael Misa. They have Connor McDavid. They have a number of great players. They have Austin Matthews with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have Quentin Byfield, who went first overall last year. And what they said about Saginaw, I really need to get it out there, because we gave them a tour of Saginaw in the Great Lakes Bay region, and they were absolutely blown away by the quality of the amenities that we have here in the Great Lakes Bay region and the people. And Ken Hornick made a comment to me from the Wasserman agency. And again, he's from Chatham, Ontario. He hasn't spent a lot of time in Michigan or in Saginaw. He said, this is an incredible community, and I will recommend as many players as I can to come here to Saginaw to play their junior hockey. So that says a lot about our community. It says a lot about the people here. It says a lot about sometimes we don't really trumpet our own selves real well as a community, and that tells you just what others outside our community think of Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region.
Yeah. So Michael Misa comes to town at 15 years old instead of 16 years old. Does he start next season? I mean, that's up to Chris Lazary, obviously, but does he start? I would have to think he would, right?
Yeah, he'll get a lot of minutes. Let's just say that. Yeah, he's going to be he's exceptional. I mean, he's going to be the most talented player on the ice on most every night. So I mean, even though he's 15, he's going to get a tremendous amount of ice time, and it is up to Chris Lazary. He's going to make those decisions as to where he puts him and what line mates he puts him with. But this is going to make everybody else around him better because he's such an elite athlete. I mean, the scouting report on him is that he's a great two-way player, and that he has incredible vision. And he plays both ends of the ice, so he plays a 200-foot game. And he's not just a one-dimensional player. So when you see him play, you're going to see an incredible skater with incredible hockey sense, and he does all the little things that will make a major impact on the game. So, and the other thing, Art, is we're going to have him. He's going to be 15. He'll be here through his 18th birthday, maybe through his 19th birthday. So we'll have him for 4 seasons. We may have him for 5. And that's the cool thing.
We should explain that because, and then he becomes draft eligible for the NHL when he's 18.
Yes.
And they could draft him and they could scoop him up.
Yes.
Chances are, though, at that age, they're probably going to leave him down for another year of development, you would think.
Well, even if they don't, let's just do the math. 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 4 years.
You got at least 4.
Yeah, we got him for at least 4 years, and it's going to be up to his NHL team if they want to send him back to us for that 5th year. But he's such an exceptional player. I'm gonna say that if I was a bet man, he's here 4 seasons. But it's going to be great. And the players that our scouts were able to draft along with him, incredible. Zane Perrick, this defenseman that we got. People around the hockey community are sending us congratulatory notes all over the place regarding the quality of this draft. And you know what? I got to hand it to our scouts: Dave Drinkle, Brian Prout, Greg Hamill, Ethan Range, Frank Robinson, Jordan Seliger, Angelo Nostato, our skating instructor, Ryan Gay, our John Kissel, our goaltending scout and instructor, Rick Ice. These guys have worked their tail off because I guess hard work and talent creates these opportunities. This group has nailed it, and they have nailed it. I never say that, as you know me well enough, Art. I never say that right after the draft. I always wait a year to see how these players develop before I tell you how good the draft was the year before. These guys nailed it. This may have been. I had Sherry Basson call me. He used to own the Erie Otters and his Memorial Cup general manager, and he told me that he's looked at our draft and said this may have been the best draft in the history of the Ontario Hockey League. So that's a big. I know that's a big sentence to say, a big phrase, but that's coming from Sherry Basson. He's won multiple Memorial Cups, and I've got to pass it on. I have passed it on to RG.
Well, and it was fortunate. I mean, you had 3 picks in the first 24. 2 in the first round and the first pick in the second round, and that pick in the second round, the 24th pick, the Stewart youngster, apparently has played with Misa.
Yeah, Bodie Stewart. Yeah, they both played together on the Mississauga Senators. And Bodie's another player that fell to us at 24, which was incredible. I had people texting me from around the league when we drafted him, and just said they were just saying, "Wow, they got Michael Misa and Bodie Stewart, and on the same team along with Zane Perrick. I was another young man that we drafted from Markham. Incredible group. The threesome that we drafted will be the best, likely be the best three players that we've ever drafted in the first and second rounds of the OHL draft in our 20 years. So great days ahead for the Saginaw Spirit. Like I said, we got a permanent smile on our faces.
And the big thing, too, that has to be pointed out is you didn't have to oversell them to come to Saginaw. They wanted to come.
No, the culture's been built here by our staff, by Dick Garber, by our community, by the amenities that the Saginaw County taxpayers have afforded us with the beautiful arena and the dressing room and the gym and everything we've got here. The strength and conditioning coaches, our team doctors, Dr. Lance Freeman and his staff, second to none. I mean, literally second to none. The development program in Saginaw. Our league, by the way, is recognized not just in the OHL, but many consider it to be the best development league in all of sports. And that's not overstating that. We play 68 regular season games plus the playoffs. It's a mini version of the NHL. These elite student athletes, they're the best in the world in their age group. Are the best 16 to 20-year-olds, every once in a while, 15-year-old players in the world are playing right here in Saginaw. So if you haven't seen a Spirit game, you got to come see these incredible athletes. Even if you're not a hockey fan, you're going to leave there saying, wow, these kids are amazingly talented. And we're the biggest provider to the NHL by a large margin. Our league provides more players to the NHL than any other league, any other school, any other institution in the world. So
before I take a break here, I want to touch on one quick thing. You mentioned attendance, because this year, despite not putting a winning club on the ice, it was the youngest club in the league, and the expectations weren't high. We had record attendance, didn't we?
We did. Art, again, a testament to our community. Well, we love our fans. I'll tell you what, and we're so grateful to them. I do get emotional when I talk about this. I see them well. I see their faces. And I'm so happy for them right now that they've got this opportunity with these players coming up. Because nothing more than what Dick Garber and I want to do is raise a championship trophy here in Saginaw with our fans, including you, Art, by the way. And this looks like the foundation. Dick always says strong buildings have strong foundations. This looks like the foundation of what we already have with T-Bone Cod, with Mitchell Smith from Saginaw, by the way. You look at the players that we got coming back for next year's team. This team is going to be a very, very good hockey team next year. And the following year, we should be a championship caliber team that could win it all. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I interviewed T-Bone a few weeks ago, and he's looking healthy. And back on the ice, which is good. For those that don't know, T-Bone Cod missed the entire season with an injury. But looks like he's going to be back in good shape. I asked him the most important question: did he pick up a golf club yet?
Yeah, he hits at 350. He won the Michigan State High School Championship last year. But yeah, he's an incredible athlete. And T-Bone's an incredible leader as well. As he was here, they're shaking Michael Misa's hand, encouraging him that we've got a great culture and a great environment in our dressing room for him. And so yeah, this is an exciting time, Art. And I really. Tickets are available yet. We're selling season tickets now for next year. We sold a bunch last week. We can with the announcement of Michael Misa, and we expect to have a good couple of months here with season tickets.
Hang on, I got to take a break. Craig will be back. We're talking to Craig Goslin, president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. More ahead here on the Art Lewis Show.
I'm Sharon Mortensen, president and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation. On to Give Local. Give Local Midland is a 24-hour giving day, and Midland Foundation is matching your donations to local nonprofit endowment funds. Help your friends and neighbors in the nonprofit community maximize their power to fundraise as they continue to serve the Midland area. Don't forget to give local on May 3rd at givelocalmidland.org.
I have sleep apnea, and I used to struggle with CPAP. Until recently, I hadn't had a good night's sleep since 2005. Do you remember 2005? We used cell phones like actual phones, and everyone wanted life hacks. Here's a life hack for anyone who struggles with CPAP. Sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body to give you comfortable, restful sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Everyone, talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. To 989898.
Hand me that nail gun.
Here you go. And here's the fries.
Lunch. Who's hungry?
You know, maybe instead of loading up a nail gun with French fries to feed the crew, we should just order lunch through Easy Cater. Food from all our favorite restaurants.
My bad.
On time and as ordered.
Delicious. Huh. Load up the hot dogs while I think about it.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is...
Stocks opened higher and turned mixed. Investors are bracing themselves for the Federal Reserve's meeting this week, which wraps up Wednesday and is expected to conclude with the Fed raising interest rates by 0.5 percentage point. Spirit Airlines has rejected JetBlue's unsolicited merger offer because it thinks it's unlikely the deal will be completed. Spirit says it will stick with a $2.9 billion offer from Frontier. Regulators in Europe are accusing Apple of abusing its dominant position in the mobile wallet business. Apple is denying the allegations. Credit rating and research firm Moody's is lowering its forecast. Moody's is predicting more volatility in the markets. Its outlook also reflects concern about the impact of the war in Ukraine. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Are you questioning Joe Biden's handling of the economy? Soaring inflation, higher taxes, $30 trillion of debt, and wild congressional spending? If yes, you'll want this new economic guide, The Iceberg Economy, Surviving a Bloated Market and a Punch-Drunk Administration. Call Monetary Gold right now to get this free guide. It will help you protect your savings and preserve your retirement. Get this free 866-443-4655. 866-443-4655.
Annette Glenn, working to restore voter trust. Annette Glenn voted to require a photo ID to vote. Take dead people off the rolls. Make it illegal to connect voting machines to the internet. Force the Secretary of State to obey state law. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate. God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, Joe Biden unleashes another attack on energy independence. I'm guessing it goes with an attack on the English language.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Craig Goslin, the president and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. So, Craig, we talked about the top three, but there were a whole bunch more. How many players did you draft?
Well, they drafted 13 players, Art, and that's been the strength, too, of Dave Drinkle and his staff, is that when you look through the roster of the Saginaw Spirit right now, we have Dean Locust, for example, one of our leading scorers. We drafted him in the 15th round. Mitchell Smith was a 5th-round draft pick. I mean, Mason Millman a few years ago now in Philadelphia, he was a 7th-round draft pick. You know, it's I guess the quality of the draft or the quality of your scouting staff often is measured by how well they do in the latter rounds of the draft. And Brian Prout, Dave Drinkle, they have, I guess it comes down to how hard you work as well. They found ways to get players that would make a significant impact for our team deep in the draft, and I got a feeling that this year is no exception by the sounds of what we're hearing from the players that we drafted in those latter rounds. So it's a big part of what we do.
Yeah, and also coming back next year, of course, another one of our first rounders, Mr. McNamara, will be back, and he
Yep.
really started to come into his own toward the end of the season. He had kind of a slow start, but he really picked up.
Well, Artie's 6'4".
Yeah,
Now I understand. So, and he's just still 16. He hasn't turned 17 yet, and he's doesn't have any facial hair yet. So he may grow another inch or two. Incredible young man. And Andy Bethune and Andrea here are his billet home, and they do an unbelievable job with him. And he's going to be when he's 19 years old, he will be dominant because he's such a big player and he's such a good, and he's so talented. So Luke McNamara now has got, I think he's got a permanent smile on his face too. And he knew we drafted Michael Misa, that another centerman that, if he's playing on the wing, then we'll get him the puck. So it's going to be pretty exciting watching those players develop.
So let me ask about one position in particular, goalie.
Yes.
Did we draft any?
Yeah, we did. We actually drafted 2 goalies, and the one of them is from Nashville, Tennessee, actually, an American.
Oh,
yeah, and another one was from North Bay, Ontario. So we drafted 2 goaltenders. Andrew Oak is back next year, of course, and there's a chance that Tristan Lennox will be back as well. So our guys, they like the future of that position in goaltending of the guys we got in house right now. And we didn't draft a goaltender high, but they do like these 2 goaltenders that we drafted. So it'll be drafting goalies it's a bit of a crapshoot because goaltenders take longer to develop. So now we're drafting 16-year-old kids, and where with forwards and defensemen you can see living color their ability to be elite. In goaltending, what they tell me, of course, I know nothing about goaltending, by the way, but what they tell me, guys like Chris Osgood will tell me that it just takes a little longer for goaltenders to be recognized and to develop. And so it's exciting to see exactly what we got in house right now with our goaltending.
Sometimes they never do, like your buddy Kenny Holland, right?
Yeah, no, Ken. His famous line is that his goals against average was 4.99. And he used to tell his team that if you guys get me 5 goals, I'll get us 2 points. On most nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.99 goals against average. That's not very good for you non-hockey fans. It needs to be around 2.5 to be any good. So he was 4.99. Yeah, that's why he's a GM.
Yeah, I get that. That's true. The one thing I noticed in talking to a couple of the folks at the draft when I stopped in, not a lot of Americans on this list this time.
No, you know what? I think COVID had something to do with that too, Art. Our Ontario scouts were unable to get across the border. That was a big part of it. But we did scout the U.S. with Brian Prout and his guys and Ethan Range. They definitely scouted the U.S. The crop in the U.S. was down a bit this year. What I'm being told is that next year is a whole different animal. Next year there's going to be a huge crop of Americans that are going to be high on the radar of the OHL teams. But this year it was down a bit, and I think there's some hesitancy too in the Ontario Hockey League right now with drafting some of the Americans. The U.S. program has done a great job. I mean, they really have in the USHL. Quite frankly, they've done a nice job developing players as well. And they've become really good competition and a really good option, quite frankly, for some of the players. Our league's not for everybody. I've told you that and mentioned it multiple times. Our league is for the elite of the elite, and we have to offer an education package to the players that come here. So they get 4 years of school if they play 4 years of hockey here at the university of their choice, basically, and we got to pay for that. And so unless that player signs a pro contract, so if a player is not going to be an NHL prospect. There's oftentimes our scouts, our GM, we actually encourage that player at times to go the other route, which is gaining in its ability to develop as well. So it's the hockey world is strong, and that's one of the challenges that we have now with drafting some of the Americans, quite frankly.
If these young men were in Canada and they played in the OHL, they could go to a Canadian university and they could play hockey for that university. The NCAA doesn't allow it in the U.S. because they look at these players as professionals. Do you ever see that changing?
I do see that changing. The NIL, the name, image, and likeness rules have been adopted by the NCAA. Now is allowing players to be paid significant amount of money and still be playing NCAA sports. And the reason they told us that our players are not eligible for NCAA hockey is because they said our pool is tainted. Because we have a number of players that in our league that have signed NHL contracts and have received their signing bonuses. And if that were the case, then these players that the USA Hockey puts in the World Junior shouldn't be competing either. Then, so they're I do see it changing. I think that our players do belong. Players that don't play pro hockey, they should be given the opportunity to play at Michigan or Michigan State or Maine or Boston College. And I think that would make their programs better, but it also make the game of hockey better if they allowed that to happen.
Yeah, I could see the day where, if you sign a pro contract, okay, you're ineligible, you're a pro.
Yeah.
But if you don't sign that contract, then your eligibility ought to remain.
Yeah.
I agree. I view it that way.
I agree 100%. And right now, like you said earlier, our players can go to Canadian universities, and a lot of them do, and they go there and they continue their development. They get their education. And I guess one of the things that Dick Garber and I are most proud of is that a number of our players have graduated out of Canadian universities and U.S. universities and have gone on to be significant professionals, be significant in their area of labor. And we've got literally dozens and dozens of Saginaw Spirit alumni that have used their entire education package and now have become doctors and lawyers and plumbers and electricians and things of significance in their home communities. And you know what? It's part of our development program. And it's not just on the ice, but off the ice. And we work hard to ensure that these players get an education or go into a trade that they're really, really passionate about if the hockey thing doesn't work out.
All right, we'll finish up with the fact that season tickets are now available for next season to see these great players. How would someone find out more about that?
Go to SaginawSpirit.com. All the information is on there. You can also stop by our store at 6321 State Street, our new location next to Timbers in Saginaw. And there's a lot of I guess I've never seen this much excitement before about the Saginaw Spirit program. It's really truly a testament to the staff and our fans and our community, our corporate sponsors. They've all stayed with us. This is our 20th year, and we're going to 21 next year with an elite roster. So they're going to be young. So are we going to be a championship caliber team next year? Only time will tell. But they're going to be really young. But we've got a multiple number of years coming up where this team is going to be really, really good, Art. It's going to be fun for everybody.
And as I sat in on the draft in the first round, watching what was happening and listening to Dave Drinkle, I couldn't believe how many of the picks he guessed for the other teams. I mean, he really got it down to a science. Oh, that team's going to pick this one, and that team's going to pick this one, and this guy should be available to us. And sure enough, bingo.
Yeah, no, they Dave Drinkle and his entire scouting staff. That's what I'm saying. They nailed it. I mean, they when they know that what players are going next, they know what they're talking about here. So I mean, they've done an incredible job, and for our fans too. Mitchell Smith from Saginaw, Swan Valley young man. What a great kid. Fantastic family. And Tim and Wendy Smith. He is going to be a significant part of our team. Always has been in the past 3 years. But just coming out to watch his development and see how he's playing. He's a local kid. Yeah, it's going to be one of the leaders on this team next year, and that's another reason to come out and be part of the Saginaw Spirit program.
Well, can't wait for the season to start, and don't blink because it'll be here before you know it.
It's going to come quick, right? It's already May, and
I have to ask this question.
Yes.
What happens now to the international draft with the situation in Russia and the Ukraine?
Well, we made this decision at the CHL board of directors level, which I'm on, and we decided that the Russians and the Belarusians are not going to be eligible to be drafted this year, and for obvious reasons, and we just can't support that. But the players that are in our league currently from Russia and from Belarus are eligible to return. And Pavel Minkatov, for example, for the Saginaw Spirit, he is projected right now to go in the top 15 of the NHL draft coming up here in July in Montreal. And he will. I'm hearing that he's going to go back to Russia for a couple of weeks and then come back here. I hope he doesn't. But that's his choice. But he's with his family right now, actually on vacation. So he's seeing his mom and dad now. And but yeah, it's there'll be no Russians or Belarusians in this upcoming import draft that's later this week. And we've got a top pick there. We got the number 2 overall pick there. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what we do with that.
So here come the Czechs and Swedes.
Yeah, and Germans. Yeah, there'll be Germans in this draft. Yeah, and Finns. There's there's a lot of good players that want to come to Saginaw, and I can tell you that right now. We're getting calls from agents all over the world saying, "Pick my kid, pick my kid, pick my kid." You know, and Michael Misa has a tendency to make that kind of stuff happen.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
All right.
yeah.
Goose, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it. Congratulations. And
Thank you, Art.
Onward and upward.
Thank you, Art. Come on out and take a look at the ticket package with the Spirit if you want to be part of this. It's it'll be worth your while. Thanks, Art.
Take care. Bye now.
Okay, man.
Craig Goslin, President Managing Partner of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club. And we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. We'll be back.
Hometown feel and big time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel. This is a getaway that makes you feel right at home. And now, sports betting is here. That's right. You can bet on games in every season as you enjoy all the tasty food and throughout the Creekside Lounge. Got a favorite? Got a hunch? Get to Saginaw Eagles Landing to wager on all the point spreads, props, parlays, and more. Sports betting puts you right in the action, and there's no better place to watch a game than the Creekside Lounge. Sports betting is just one more reason to get here. We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in and see what the good times are all about. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly.
You must be 18 or older to wager. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Finding great candidates to hire can find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
With one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. On a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior. Scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and take
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW and open phones for the remainder of the hour. And Hound Dog is with us up in Okama. Hound Dog, good morning. Hound Dog, you there? There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, it's a privilege once again. And last Thursday you were talking to the fellow you call Goose. And but what about Hockey 101A? Like, you don't have to be a superstar at 13. Just get out there. There's only one thing better than pond hockey, and that is lake hockey. Get out there. Get out there and put the hockey stick down sometimes. Learn how to skate backwards, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's carry 4 or 5 snow shovels in your vehicle and say, hey, let's do this.
Well, you know, it's interesting you bring that up because hockey really isn't that different than any other sport. You know, obviously at the major league levels of sports, you have the elite players, but obviously little league players, very few actually make it to the major league, but they all enjoy the sport. Hockey is the same way. I mean, there are hockey leagues and there are a lot of junior players and they enjoy themselves, and it's a great exercise.
Yeah, if at a sport, it'd be volleyball or center field, but and I never did a slap shot. I never spiked the ball in volleyball. You just go out there, you know. I could tell you the 3 little Canadian girls, man, they were no taller than a doorknob, and they kicked my butt, man. It was so much fun. It wasn't funny, man.
Yeah, well, I just think the notion of getting out and exercising and enjoying yourself in sports is a good one. And it teaches teamwork, and it does a lot of good things for you.
Well, yeah, it does that, yeah. And when I asked you, did you ever skate? I mean, hockey skate, figure skate, roller skate?
I did roller. I actually was a roller skater and actually took dance on roller skating when I was in my young 20s.
So that was with the 4 wheels in the corner.
That
right?
was the typical roller skate with the knob on the front to turn and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I never did that, but I liked the other forms. I never tried figure skates, but hockey and rollerblade. Yeah, and you know, potholes, speed bumps, sticks and gravel never bothered me. You know, there's about that crack in the ice.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, Hound Dog, I got to take a break, but I appreciate the thoughts on the call. Get out there.
Hockey 101. Keep
All
it
right,
fun
buddy.
and keep it simple.
Good enough. Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, the lines are open. We'll be back with more.
Hemlock Public School District is proud to announce they are the Innovative District of the Year in 2022. This vibrant school community offers engagement in extracurricular activities from sports, drama, fine arts, robotics, and more. Hemlock Public Schools is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education with programs from the cradle to early middle college. Call us today at 989-642-5282. 5282 or hemlockps.com. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education. Enroll today.
Your home is your safe haven, and energy-efficient window treatments can make it feel even more comfortable throughout the year. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth, and we are celebrating 60 years in business. Save big with rebates on qualifying purchases of energy-efficient shades from Hunter Douglas that help keep your home cool in the summer and warm during the winter, all while helping you save on energy consumption during the Hunter Douglas Energy Smart Style Savings Event. Vignette Modern Roman shades offer contemporary glamour with luxurious fabrics, while Sonnet Cellular Roller shades to create a soft glow. Duet Honeycomb shades are the industry's leading energy-efficient window treatments. They feature a special cellular design that traps air to keep your home insulated from outdoor temperatures. Hunter Douglas window treatments can help you save on energy costs in every season. Don't wait to shop the Hunter Douglas Energy Smart Style Savings Event now through June 20th. Warden Interiors, celebrating 60 years. We'll help you bring it all together.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful and a whole lot tougher, Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. Or 9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's plan on having concessions over there.
Mike is remodeling the old family drive-in movie theater.
Go find Gavin. Tell him the sound team is here.
He'll need a new front-of-house cast and behind-the-scenes crew.
Hey, can we talk staffing real quick? I'm thinking at least 6 per shift.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hand me that nail gun. Lunch. Who's hungry?
You know, maybe instead of loading up a nail gun with French fries to feed the crew, we should just order lunch through Easy Cater. Food from all our favorite restaurants.
My bad.
On time and as ordered.
Delicious. Huh. Load up the hot dogs while I think about it.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Your home for the Tigers for 55 years is WSGW.
Fly ball right field off the bat of Torkelson, deep, going back, clicking up, gone! 3 runs. Torkelson now to home plate for the greeting from Scope and Cabrera.
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by
Schaefer and Beerline, Ram Truck and Frankenmuth,
Wildfire's Ace Hardware in Saginaw,
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery in Midland.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Back to our phones. Carol is in Sheridan. Carol, good morning to you.
Good morning. I just want to remind people that the dandelion greens are really, really good this year. They've grown slow and lots of rain, and they're...
You eat them?
Oh, yes, by the ton. And they're also good in place of lettuce. Lettuce is really high, and a few on a sandwich or something, and just make believe it's lettuce is very good.
All right, you grow your own?
Well, of course, the yard furnishes plenty.
Hey, automatically, huh?
I use no poison. We use absolutely no poison on anything. So,
yeah.
So, because you don't want to eat them if you tried to kill them. But
no,
and then I fry the blossoms too. I pick out the blossoms in different pancake batter and fry them in butter, and have about 7 of them at a time too.
Oh,
they're
very good.
They're very, very good too. So if somebody wants something different and they're hungry and the food prices are really high, instead of lettuce, just go out and grab you some dandelions.
Yeah, good enough.
Be
All
a
right.
forger. Okay, well, but they're excellent this year. But being cold and wet, they're not bitter at all. So they're very good. Or you can just cook them, and I keep a quart jar in there, and then just
there you go.
Cook a bunch at once. So
very good.
Okay, kind
Thanks.
of fun and different.
Good. Thanks, Carol.
Enjoy. Bye bye.
Yep, bye-bye now. All right, the line's open. Still have time to get another call or two in. I was thinking about something, we're talking to Craig Goslin about the Spirit and how Saginaw has become a destination for these young hockey players because of the development program we have here. Now, I was thinking about the region, and he mentioned that he had taken around some of the agents to show them how many regions of our size, let's say 400,000 people between Saginaw Bay and Midland County in round numbers, how many regions of that size, or for that matter, how many cities of that size can say they have 2 symphony orchestras, multiple art museums, multiple historic museums, multiple community theater companies, a professional minor league baseball team in the Loons with a beautiful stadium, an Ontario Hockey League team that provides talent to the NHL in a beautiful arena. We have a state park in our midst in Bay City. We have Shiawassee National Flats out there. Think of the things we have in this region and ask yourself how many communities of this size have as much as we do. You know, it's easy to complain. It's easy to find fault. It's easy to look at the problems. It's easy to blame government. It's easy to do all those things. Every now and then you have to step back and say, well, what's reality here? Well, reality is we have a ton of things to offer. And the trick, I think, for this region is to get employees. We have to have jobs so we can get employees to come here. In talking to the chairman and CEO of Dow, Jim Fitterling, last year, we were talking about the LPGA event. Yeah, but let's add that, by the way, a professional women's golf tournament at the Midland Country Club. And I asked him why Dow is spending the millions of dollars they spend on that hockey tournament, on that golf tournament, I should say. And his answer was prophetic, really, when you think about it. He said, look, Art, this gives me a worldwide platform because this tournament is seen all over the world. It introduces people to the Midland area and Dow. Because if I can get them here to look around, I can keep them here. That says something about the region. Sometimes we don't all appreciate what we have, which is right in front of us. We tend to forget just how good we have it. All right, we'll take our last break, and we'll be back to close out the hour.
At Wildfire Credit Union, Loan Rate Cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards, or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back. It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back. It's coming back, round again. It's back. Tell a friend. It's coming back. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Cash is back. Tell a friend. New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you, all the trimming. But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say, if it's something you want, just go after it and try it. Then they mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV, you can't be all work and not play. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Daylight Outfitters. You are going to get 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4 or 1 hour of video archery for a group of 4 for only $40. It's usually $80, but you are getting it half off. Daylight Outfitters is located at 664 West Isabella Road in Midland. Axe throwing participants must be 10 and up. Head right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis ending Disney's self-government and tax breaks.
Bigotry is on the ballot when it comes to Ron DeSantis, right?
News.
Kevin McCarthy caught in a lie.
Well, I've never asked the president to resign. I never thought he should resign.
Kevin McCarthy is a liar and a traitor.
News.
This tragedy in Ukraine, removing the masks on flight.
Disappointing decision.
News.
The end of Title 42.
As of May 23rd.
News coverage.
3,000 for Miguel cover!
On WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Monday. We thank you for joining us. Coming up on Focus, we're going to focus on the Bay County Library System with Trish Burns, its director. Before that, we have news from CBS and the local report. Then we will be back on Focus. Talk to you right after the news.
A premier kitchen and bath gallery studios. WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Many are still trapped, but dozens of civilians have made it out of a besieged steel plant in southern Ukraine. CBS's Chris Livesay says they're in rough shape.
People are dying from their wounds. Some of them are civilians. Some of them are soldiers. They lack bandages. We're told many are suffering from gangrene because they've had amputations but haven't gotten the kind of that they so desperately need.
The war has effectively stopped much-needed food exports from Ukraine, imperiling others around the world. Policy analyst Anna Borshevskaya.
Not only is Ukraine the top exporter of these goods, but so is Russia. When you put these two together, you're really having a nexus of a major food crisis that is going to have ripple effects throughout the world. In fact, that's already happening.
The reward is $10,000 in Alabama for information about confessed killer Casey White, who vanished late last week. Also gone is a correctional officer who is believed to have helped him with his getaway from a jail. Austin Williams is the son of a woman White in 2015.
Somebody really needs to find out how this happened. Someone really needs to look into that and make sure that it can't happen again. We really would like to see him go to trial.
In a 9-0 ruling, the Supreme Court says Boston violated the free speech rights of a Christian group by refusing to fly a flag with a cross image at City Hall. It's a spot where private groups are allowed to fly flags. As COVID case numbers rise, some health officials are warning of a possible surge. Dr. Celine Gounder tells CBS Mornings it could be worrisome in the South.
We know that this virus transmits more easily when you're in crowded spaces. And in the South, people go indoors in the summer just to get out of the heat. So their peak period of transmission may be a little bit different because their seasons or temperatures are different.
Well, CBS's Jim Krasula's got the latest chapter in the future of a budget airline.
Spirit Airlines Board of Directors supports Frontier Airlines' $2.9 billion takeover bid rather than JetBlue's competing $3.6 billion offer. Spirit's leadership, which initially liked the JetBlue bid, now says it probably would not work out.
A day after Naomi Judd's death, her daughter Ashley paid tribute at the Country Music Hall of Fame ceremony in Nashville. Inducted.
Your esteem for her and your regard for her really penetrated her heart. And it was your affection for her that did keep her going in these last years.
Wall Street, the Dow is down 17 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
When you think spring, you think spring cleaning, spring fever, and spring projects. Let Kapoko Community Credit Union make the spring projects part easy with a Visa. Secured by the credit in your home. With low drop period payments, 15 years to repay, and possible tax savings, this will make that new landscaping or home remodel way less stressful. So you can focus on giving your home the TLC it needs. So when you think spring, think Kapoko Community Credit Union. Find out more at kapoko.org. Member NCUA.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at rocketgrabplus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52,
36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. May depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WS.
Cloudy skies and 51 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchuk. Kindergartners at a Clio area elementary school were hospitalized Friday after possibly coming into contact with an unknown substance. Emergency crews responded after 15 to 18 students, mostly from the same second grade classroom, were reported to have symptoms of nausea, shortness of breath, and
how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to see your face. The school evacuated the building.
Oh, here I am.
All right.
We'll be with you in about 5 or 6 minutes. I shut the video off when we're not on, so just see you in a bit.
5 of the students were sent to a local hospital as of Saturday. Police are currently waiting for test results from a state police crime lab. Downtown Midland and Creative 360 are looking for local artists of all ages and skill levels to decorate Main Street sidewalks with colorful temporary works of art during its first free Chalk the Walk events on May 21st. Artists will be assigned a section of sidewalk, either 69 square feet or 92 square feet, to use as a canvas for their chalk artwork. Prizes will be awarded in a variety of categories, with all entries evaluated on overall quality and design and the use of the theme Arts Transforms. Prizes will be awarded in 2 age groups, 0 to 17, and the event will also feature a free-for-all section for everyone to enjoy and draw as they please. Registration for the art competition will be open until May 13th and can be found on the Creative 360 website. MDOT will be resurfacing the US 23 connector in Aranac County today. Crews will close the northbound US 23 with traffic detoured via I-75, M61, and 23. They'll reopen the northbound 23 connector for the Memorial Day holiday weekend before closing it again to resume work on May 31st. As part of an overall $37 million investment to resurface 623 from I-75 to Grove Street in the city of Standish, including repairs to 19 bridges. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Hi, I'm Diane Fong of the Bay Area Community Foundation. Our local nonprofits are vital to our community, and it's essential that we support them now more than ever. On Tuesday, May 4th, I invite you to join me in honoring the work of Bay and Aranac nonprofits with a donation through Give Local Bay. Powered by LiUNA Local 1098, Give Local Bay is a 24-hour online fundraiser where your dollars go further when matched by $25,000 from the Community Foundation. Please join us tomorrow by donating at Give Local Bay.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle with the all-new Ascend Sportsbook. That's right, sports betting is here. Now you can watch and wager on sports in every season all year round. So bring your crew and grab a front row seat for all the action. It's real sports betting now at the Ascend Sportsbook, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. You must be 18 or older to wager. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A Grand Rapids police officer who shot Patrick Leoya in the back of the head of excessive force against him, according to his personnel file. The file contains praise for traffic stops that turned up drugs, guns, and people wanted for crimes. Christopher Scher's file was released to the Associated Press by the Grand Rapids Police Department. It's possible complaints against Schur are no longer in his file, as the police union's contract allows expungement of certain records if conditions are met. Schur is being investigated for killing Lyoya in early April after a traffic stop and a struggle. Face masks will soon be optional for indoor spaces on the campus of the University of Michigan. Here's Michael Cohen.
In an email, policy is in line with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention COVID-19 community level guidance. The rule goes into effect on May 2nd before spring and summer terms begin. Masks will still be required to be worn in certain settings, including at COVID-19 testing sites and in patient care areas within Michigan Medicine, University Health Service, and the dental school. I'm Michael Cohen for the Michigan News Network.
U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm will be back in Michigan today. She'll be visiting MSU for the opening of the university's new facility for rare isotope beams, which is partially funded by the Department of Energy's office. Detroit, Granholm will visit Focus Hope, a nonprofit organization specializing in community and workforce development to overcome racism, poverty, and injustice within the city. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see cloudy skies here for today with a high into the upper 50s. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low near 44. By Tuesday, a good chance for showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies, a high 55 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high around 58. Thursday, partial around 63. Then by Friday, another chance for rain showers, partial sunshine, and a high around 60. Saturday, mostly sunny sky conditions, a high around 61 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 50.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. WSGW.com.
And good morning. Welcome back. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis from my Second on Spirit Home studio. And Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, affordable, and ideal alternative to replacing your asphalt shingles. Find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com. or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And we're going to go to the library today, maybe read a good book or two in between, and we say good morning to the director of the Bay County Library System, Trish Burns. Trish, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
And we can see each other because you can watch us on video this morning. I want to start out, we heard the commercial for Give Local and the Bay County efforts. Does the library receive any of that? Are you on that Give Local radar, so to speak?
We are. We're one of about 50 local Bay County organizations that receive money from that. People can go online at givelocalbay.org and donate online, or they can come into the organization tomorrow only, and give by check or cash. The cool thing with that for us, and I think for the community, is that it's an opportunity for people to donate, but it doesn't have to be a ton of money. You have to donate at least $10, but you can just donate $10. And so it makes it really affordable and easy for people to do, because a lot of folks are like, oh, I don't have $1,000 that I can give. We're not expecting that. If you have 10, we would love that.
And it's, we say tomorrow because of the match, right? I mean, you can give year round and you should, but tomorrow in particular because of the match.
Correct. Yes, you can give any day you want. I'm not saying that for sure. But yes, tomorrow is the day to actually get the match. There's a match of $25,000 that's been donated. So depending on how much each of the organizations raise, they get a percentage of that match. Yeah, so it makes your money go even further.
So let's talk about the Bay County Library system itself. Since we're talking about money, give us an overview of how it's funded.
Oh, sure. It's kind of interesting. Libraries in the state of Michigan can be funded in 8 or 9 different ways. The Bay County Library system, because it's in its name, is actually a county system, and we have a county-wide millage. So geographically, we cover the entire county of Bay and are taxed by the properties in the county.
So that's the bulk of your funding.
It is the bulk of our funding. We do receive something called state aid, and there's a portion of money that comes, each person that's in our county counts for, I think it's 49 cents this year, 48 or 49 cents this year. So it's not a huge amount of money, but it does add up. And then we also are funded by penal fines. And those are the monies that when you're driving a little too fast and an officer pulls you over and you get a ticket, we get some of those monies.
I was going to ask about that. I wondered if that was still in place after all these years.
It is still in place after all those years, and it is an actual decent amount of money that we receive from penal fines every year.
Not to encourage speeding, folks, but, you know, just...
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Drive safe out there.
So, Trish, I mean, you've been in the libraries for quite a while. What's the health of American library systems today?
I have been in libraries for a long time. Did you say what is the health of American libraries today?
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I think American libraries are even more important than ever today. We're seeing people wanting to decide for others what they should read or view or think. And libraries are that quintessential democratic institution that allows everybody to come in and decide for themselves what they want to read, what ideas they want to use, how they want to do things. It's incredibly important to be able to have a free society that's able to read freely. And I think now more than ever, libraries in America are extremely important for that.
The other role I used to see as libraries was the keeper of history to some degree. By that I mean newspapers were the historians of the community, but all of their information was on microfiche. You went to the library, you could look up anything 100 years ago. With the demise of newspapers not as preeminent as they always were, who's keeping that history now? Are libraries still able to get that history?
Libraries are still keeping that history. We still actually have newspapers in newspaper form. We have newspapers on microfilm, and microfilm lasts for a surprisingly long time. And then we also have newspapers that are digitized, and we're working on digitizing newspapers on a regular basis. So they're a little easier to find online, and you can search them by, keyword instead of having to go through page after page after page. So we're trying to make it more discoverable and easier for the information to be found.
All right, hang on. I've got to take a break. We're talking to Trish Burns, the director of the Bay County Library System. More ahead.
When Gretchen Whitmer used tax dollars for hush money to cover up nursing home deaths and $11 billion unemployment fraud, Annette Glenn pushed a bill banning tax-financed gag orders on state employees. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
I have sleep apnea, and I used to struggle with CPAP. Until recently, I hadn't had a good night's sleep since 2005. Do you remember 2005? We used cell phones like actual phones, and everyone wanted life hacks. Here's a life hack for anyone who struggles with CPAP. Get Inspire. It's a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body to give you comfortable, restful sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
It's not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
When flying insects show up in your home, how do you get rid of them? Hopelessly clapping every single one? Aimlessly swatting back and forth? Hanging fly strips in your living room? Ew, ew, ew. Instead, try Zevo Traps. Zevo uses light, not odor or chemical insecticides, to attract and trap bugs, working continuously so you don't have to. People friendly. Bug deadly. Now at a store near you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins.
Girl Scout cookies can be delivered by DoorDash. Who's excited? Part of the fun of it is buying them from the Girl Scouts. What does that mean? Well, I mean, you know, really clarify that, please. You're hitting on their moms? No, I'm not hitting on their mom.
What do you mean?
Saying
I don't
they're
understand.
sitting there with their mothers and the joy they get for you buying a box of cookies.
The joy of the kid or
Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you on Focus, talking to Trish Burns, the director of the Bay County Library System. How have libraries adapted to the changing communications world that we live in now?
We've had to do a lot of adaptation. Libraries, as they started out, were written form, obviously, and the fact that we're able to share information in so many different ways right now, we've definitely had to adapt, especially during COVID over the past couple of years. We ended up expanding our ebook selections that were available. We ended up doing a couple of additional streaming databases, so people can now go to our website and download free ebooks, audiobooks, music, movies, television shows, newspapers, pretty much anything that you could get in physical or paper form, you can also get online from us. So we carry both. It's a delicate balance on both sides of the fence because we still have people that want things in a physical paper form, and then we have people that want things only on their device.
Yeah.
So we have to provide both of those.
So have to ask, I mean, I'm old fashioned, I used to go to the library, look through the cards and get the Dewey Decimal System number and go find the book.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Dewey Decimal System still there, or is that ancient?
No, the Dewey Decimal System is still there. It's weirdly enough, it's still one of the best ways to categorize information and find it. And people still know what it is and they know how to use it. And until we find something better, we're going to stick with it. There are some libraries who have gone to what have called the bookstore model, where they would put, all of this particular book in an area. And it lends to a little more maybe browsability sometimes, but it's also sometimes hard to find things in a bookstore. I know when I go into a bookstore, I can't find anything because I'm used to the Dewey Decimal part of it. So we still try and do the Dewey Decimal thing so people can find the information, and then it's still browsable in fiction because those are all still by author. And we don't have the card catalog anymore. Unfortunately, it's all online.
Yeah, I knew that. But, it seemed to me that the Dewey system is still similar to browsing, because if you know the number of your category, if I go to 6 whatever, and I'm looking for a particular topic, they're all going to be there in that number, typically.
Exactly. Like if you're looking for a Listen to the Mrs. Cookbook, for example, we'd go to 641.5672, and we'd have Listen to the Mrs. Cookbooks, and then all of the other cookbooks on the other sides of them as well.
I'll remember that. Thanks. I appreciate it. So what kind of hours does the library keep these days?
We have kept the same hours as we were before COVID. When we had to close down, obviously we didn't keep any hours, but then when we were all able to open up, we kept our same hours. So we are open 6 days a week, actually we're open 7 days a week most of the year. And then during the summertime, we do not have Sunday hours. But during the school year, we do have Sunday hours because a lot of kids like to come in on Sundays and study and get their info. But yeah, we're open 10 to 8, 9 to 5, etc. So we're open between 8 to 10 hours every day, 6 or 7 days of the week. And the last, probably 3 or 4 months, as things are starting to get a little bit more back to normal, foot traffic has just shot through the roof. People are starting to come back in again and being more comfortable in situations, and it's been really nice to see people coming back that hard.
Well, let's talk about the other side of it, and that's the staff side of it. Are young people still willing to go into the library sciences study course?
Yes. In fact, we have a couple of people on our staff right now who are taking courses in library science to become librarians in the next couple of years. And the courses are much different now than they were when I, years and years and years ago, did my graduate work, because everything was, still pen and paper, and we did bibliographies and, all sorts of things like that. And now a lot of it is community related and very technical, and how to best get access to the information where and when it's needed.
Well, Trish, I want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning, and good luck tomorrow in raising some funds for the library and Give Local. We'll have more on that tomorrow, but thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, Art.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Trish Burns, the director of the Bay County Library System. We thank her for her time this morning. Back to close out and move on to the market report with our ticker tip of the day from Baird & Company.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
It's time.